Hey, what is happening, guys? What's going on? Good morning. It's Johnny with Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you how you can access your Bitcoin Gold on October 25th after the fork. So I'm going to be dropping a link in the description box below to HitBTC.com. HitBTC is a Bitcoin exchange similar to, Coinbase, Kraken, Poloniex, etc. And they have come out and announced that they will be supporting Bitcoin Gold. I'm not really aware of any other exchanges who've come out and said that they're going to be supporting Bitcoin Gold. I imagine Bittrex will, but I haven't seen them actually release a statement saying like when, how, what's the process going to be like, etc. So right now, HitBTC is the only one I'm aware of that's done this. I have not used HitBTC in the past. However, I did sign up for an account this morning, and there's actually going to be two forks coming up. So we have Bitcoin Gold, the first one, which is going to be October 25th. Shortly after that, we have Bitcoin Segwit2, which I'm still confused whether that's going to be happening on November 1st or November 18th. Initially, it was going to be 90 days after the Bitcoin Cash fork, which would put it at November 1st. However, according to how the blocks are being mined, I've heard a lot of people saying that it's more likely to be on or around November 18th. HitBTC said they will support both of those, and actually HitBTC is already allowing you to sell futures or buy futures of the Segwit2 fork, which is completely separate and aside from Bitcoin Gold. And that's really what we're talking about in today's video is Bitcoin Gold. But as of yesterday, you can sell futures or buy futures of Bitcoin Segwit2. So getting back to Bitcoin Gold doesn't seem to have as much support as Bitcoin Segwit2X. There's been a lot of criticism of the project. I believe they only have one developer. They don't have a whole lot of code or stuff up on GitHub, which means people can't really examine the code. I haven't really been keeping up with it the past couple of days, but as of about a week ago, we were only 10 days, 2 weeks out from the Bitcoin Gold fork. There were a lot of details they didn't really know as far as block sizes and things like that. They had something in the code that was going to allow them to pre-mine coins, which means that they could either enrich themselves or do an ICO. That really turned a lot of people off. They've responded to criticism and said, oh, it was just a fundraising idea we had back in July. People didn't really like it, so we took it off the website. However, they haven't removed that from the code, so potentially they could still pre-mine coins or sell their own ICO coins, which people really didn't like. But people are really kind of skeptical about this project. I don't really think it's going to come out at a high price. I don't think it's going to be a really important coin. I don't necessarily think it's going to stick around for that long. So I think Bitcoin Gold is going to be much less of an issue than Segwit2X. But if you do want to get your quote-unquote free money, HitBTC will help you do that. Now, one thing about accessing coins after a split or after a fork, I used, okay, so general consensus is control your keys and have your seed, and if you have that, you will be able to access your coins. Now, back during the Bitcoin Cash split, right, we can kind of look to the past to kind of predict or maybe see what might happen in the future. After the Bitcoin Cash split, HitBTC actually handled the situation really well. I did not use them last time because I was a little bit skeptical of the whole thing. I had seen some complaints about them, but I mean, you see complaints about every exchange: Bittrex, Kraken, Poloniex, Coinbase. Coinbase probably has more exchanges and more complaints about them than anybody else out there. But again, they're probably the biggest and most widely used one, so that makes sense. But I was kind of scared off last time, but HitBTC really did handle the last split really well. And actually, the people who had their... Okay, so getting back to the whole thing about like controlling your private keys, I do agree that's probably the best way to go about things. I have a Trezor, and I had my coins on my Trezor during the split. However, what happened back during Bitcoin Cash is, yes, I did wind up getting my coins, but it took Trezor a couple days to kind of release a beta way of accessing your coins. So even though my coins were split and I had them, it was a couple days before I could access them. And even after I accessed them, most of the exchanges had shut down Bitcoin as well as Bitcoin Cash withdrawals and deposits, which mean even if you had access to yours, you weren't able to get them onto an exchange to sell them. So while I do tend to agree that holding your own keys is probably the best way to do things, back during the Bitcoin Cash fork, the people who fared the best, or the people who were able to sell their Bitcoin Cash for the most money, were actually the people who had their money on exchanges. If you had your money on an exchange like Bittrex or HitBTC, as soon as the fork happened, they split your coins for you, so you got both coins instantly. Whereas even with my Trezor or Electrum or whatever else, it took people a couple days to get their coins. And then again, once you had your coins, you couldn't get them on the exchange. So if your coins were already on an exchange, they were split for you, and you could begin trading them immediately. Now, people who were trading on HitBTC and sold their futures ahead of time actually wound up getting as much as like $1,300, maybe even a little bit more, when they sold their coins. As soon as they were released, I believe it was trading around $1,100, maybe $1,000, and I think the reason for that, very few people had access to their Bitcoin Cash. So those few people that did have access to their Bitcoin Cash and had it on an exchange were the few people who were able to trade it. Obviously, you know, supply and demand affects price, and when there's a supply and much less demand, it's going to drive up the price. So the people who had access to their coins right away on exchanges were probably able to sell them for the most amount of money. Shortly after that, we saw Bitcoin Cash slide and go down in price, and it eventually did hit kind of a bull run and go up to $1,000. So some people who were patient and sat on it could make money, but the people who made the most money were people who either sold the futures or had access to it right away after the split and were able to sell there. So I think what I'm going to be doing for both this upcoming, or I don't know about Bitcoin Gold, I'm not really that gung-ho about it, but at least for Segwit, I'm probably going to keep a couple coins on Bittrex, and I'm probably going to keep a couple coins on HitBTC, kind of in the spirit of not putting all your eggs in one basket. If one of them is slow to split the coins or doesn't allow you to trade right away, at least I potentially will be able to trade on the other one. So I'm going to put a small amount on Bittrex, a small amount on HitBTC, and the rest I'm going to keep in my Trezor. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell them right away. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell the futures. Right now, I believe futures are trading somewhere around, oh, I'm sorry. There actually is no futures market for Bitcoin Gold at the moment. I made a video earlier this morning about Bitcoin Segwit2. You actually can trade your Bitcoin Segwit2 futures already on HitBTC. I believe the buy price, or what people are offering for it, is $600 and some change. What people are trying to sell it for is more like $1,100, so there's a big spread between the two. I'm going to kind of sit back and kind of watch what happens, but hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. I've kind of intermingled Segwit2X split in with this discussion about Bitcoin Gold. But just to simplify things and get back, one of the few exchanges who I have heard is going to be handling Bitcoin Gold, again, is HitBTC. If you want to access yours right away, you may want to put some money on HitBTC. If you're not really like in a huge rush to access them, just make sure you got your private keys. Keep them on Electrum or on a Trezor or a Ledger or a Keepsafe or Safe Key or whatever that thing's called. But yeah, guys, that's if you want to access your Bitcoin Gold right away, HitBTC is one reputable, known exchange who has come out and said they will support it. Like I said, I have a feeling Bittrex will, but they haven't come out and said it yet. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of questions about this, like, hey, how can I get my Bitcoin Gold? So HitBTC, I linked to it down below, and then I'll keep you guys updated on the Segwit2X split, what's going on with that. But yeah, as of yesterday, you are able to sell your futures, so you can sell it before it even comes out if you want to. If you guys have any questions about this, if I wasn't clear about anything, or if you guys know of any other exchanges who've said they're going to support it, and or any wallets who are going to support both the forks or both the splits, please drop a comment in the description box below. I'd love to know, and I'm sure your fellow crypto traders and YouTubers would as well. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thumbs up, share, so your friends know about how to do this, how to access them as well. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button to the bottom right, hit that little bell, ring the bell so you're updated on my videos, and I'll try to keep you guys updated on what's going on with both these upcoming forks or splits, both the Bitcoin Gold and the Bitcoin Segwit2X. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.